Welcome back to the Lab podcast. The topic that we were discussing earlier this morning was the importance of video in marketing strategies today. And the key word here was unregretted user minutes. So it's one of the things, the keywords that Elon Musk throws around every now and again, because one of their goals with Twitter is to make sure that users have as little unregretted user minutes as possible.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, and I just wanted to hear what you guys think about that, and how does video potentially contribute to unregretted user minutes spent online, and how does that positively influence your brand, and how would you go about creating that kind of content? What kind of content would you create, and why would it be unregretted? So that's what we were discussing earlier. Maybe we could...
So I know we've had this discussion many times before, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have also felt this way, is when you get off Instagram and you've been scrolling for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I'm being generous. I know sometimes you have those 3-4 hour sessions, and and you just, you feel really crap afterwards. You feel guilty for wasting that time. But there is a way to cultivate your timeline so that the stuff you are watching and consuming is positive and engaging and valuable, whether that's through entertainment, whether that's through providing knowledge or whatever it might be, just stuff that you find energizing.
So how would you categorize unregretted user minutes? What is how does that feel after you've spent, let's say, 30 minutes? We're not trying to debate how much time you should be spending online, but once you've spent X amount of time, let's say it's 30 minutes, an hour now, how do you qualify whether or not that's unregretted? And for a general person.
So I'd say for me personally, there's two main aspects to that. The first is creating content that actually provides value. So being thoughtful with the type of stuff that you're putting in, like the type of content you put out needs to have some sort of weight to it and make the person's life better. And the second thing is also being ethical about the choices you make in editing and in the style of content that you create, and not putting out content that hooks people and draws them in, which might sound counterintuitive because you want to grow your channel. You want people to watch your stuff as much as possible. But nothing bothers me more than watching a 2-minute long TikTok or a reel on Instagram, and then they don't end the TikTok and show you what's up and what's actually happening. And they say, stay tuned for part 2. You have to go to their channel and sort of, I hate that so much. I guarantee you now, if any of you guys do that, I will never follow you. I will never subscribe. It's just not, it's not worth it. It's clickbait, like I said.
Carl, would you agree with that? What's your definition of like regretted user minutes? Maybe let's categorize that. What do you regret spending time on? And then maybe let's start going into how would you as a creator make sure that either for yourself or for a client, you're creating content that's unregretted. So what for you is, what would qualify as regret?
I found myself in the situation, I think last year, where you just watch things that just don't make sense. For instance, I think Instagram is really good with that algorithm. So you'll watch something stupid and pointless, but then Instagram's like, okay, you love that. Let me just put more and more and more onto your plate. And then soon it's like, that doesn't make sense.
So can we just on a point, and that's with regards to ethics. So as a creator, so of course these platforms are developed in a way that they want to keep people spending time on that platform as long as possible, right? But you can, if you know that these people are guaranteed to spend time on that platform, at least what you can do is be ethical, moral with yourself in putting out content that you think is of value to them, whether it's entertainment value, education value, or any kind of other value that a person might get. How would you say, either one of you guys can answer this question, as a recommendation to companies or brands that want to create content, what would they need to do to make sure that their customers are not regretting time if they plan on going to create content?
So I think a very simple way to, like a practical way to put that into the content that you put out, is to create a piece of content, whether it's a video or a social media post or something that has some information, provides some value, and then end it with some sort of action point that the consumer can take away and go and work on for themselves. So let's say, for instance, we create content on how to shoot videos in a more professional way, or how to create content. You can create a tutorial saying, this is how you expose correctly for a daylight shoot, as an example, right? That's what the tutorials are. Then you provide that information straight away. Don't string them along. Don't, hold out on gems for the end of the video to try and extend your watch minutes, because that's again unethical. You're getting people to watch for longer, but you're not retaining people over the long term. And then end that video once you've delivered the information. Don't make the video longer than it needs to be. That's something that people on Facebook do because of the algorithm. You'll watch a 15-minute video of someone frying an egg because the longer the video is, the better it's
It's gonna be a hard.
And then you end the video by giving a practical exercise. Like, say, now go out there with your cameras and shoot something and send it in the comments below. So that's a good way to engage with your community and get them off of the platform.
Let's try and build some bullet points out of that. So the first thing that I took from you that I agree on is avoiding clickbait, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you were saying that a lot of the stuff that you were watching in the past was like it had no actual...
Yeah, it's just be careful when you do watch things, just to keep it aligned and keep it to the point.
Yeah, I'm sure all of us have watched those half-an-hour tutorials on how to build a pond in the Amazon.
It's all actually fake.
Yeah.
So, okay, next point is be legit. Like, make sure that whatever you're putting out is legit. Make sure that you're providing value early on in the piece of content that you're delivering. I think you also want to be mindful of the fact that you want to earn on monetization, perhaps on YouTube, but there's different ways to do that. I think that's the point that I would add there as the fourth point is be genuine and open with your audience. So say to them, hey, listen guys, a lot of people, I mean, it's common practice now to say, hey, this video is sponsored by X person. They gave me this, or they gave me this demonstration unit, just so you guys know for transparency. But what you can also say is, I'm going to give you certain advice now, and if you stay until the end of the video, I'll give you another tip on this. So being honest. So if we recap that, it's avoid clickbait, give real content. The third one was send them off with a call to action.
Yes, absolutely.
And then the last one is be honest and transparent with people that are watching.
So instead of trying to retain them and push them into more videos, give them a reason to leave the platform and go and apply the knowledge that you've just given them in that moment. It helps so much.
Why would, if I ask you, we adopt this, we start shooting content like that, why are the people that are watching that going to respond better? Because now we're not giving them clickbait all the time.
Yeah.
Are they going to respond to us well? Are they going to return that favor?
Well, I mean, you'll see in some tutorial videos and stuff online, you'll see people do comment back, oh, dude, thanks, bro. You didn't waste my time. You got straight to the point. Thank you so much. And that's kind of what you want, because that builds a fan base. Because now, if this guy's talking about this, I know he's going to be genuine. He's going to be straight to the point.
No, so community is the big word with that.
Exactly. Yeah. You guys don't underestimate the power of having a thumbnail that says, I'm going to teach you XYZ, and a title that says, do you want to learn XYZ? And then the first second of the video, when people click on it, says, here's how to do XYZ. And then straight away, just tell them how to do that thing. Don't build it up, and back to being ethical, like we mentioned earlier, just be real and honest. If you have sponsorships and things in your videos, put timestamps. Say, this is the intro, this is the part 1, this is the sponsorship. Give people the option to skip past that if they want to. And you'll probably find that by being real and authentic, people are more likely to pay attention to what you are promoting and sponsoring and actually go and check it out and use your promo codes and. And
also, if there are like more than one part to your series, I think explain that already in the beginning. Be like, okay, this is going to be 20 minutes, guys. The next one's going to be also about 20 minutes. So I don't have time to cram everything in one.
Exactly.
Episode. Just give them authentic realness.
Yeah, because there is a time and place for a series, but not every, trend or piece of content that you put out has to be a part 1, part 2, and clickbait people into watching a series.
So you think community building in that way is probably the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
You provide like real and genuine value. It's kind of like a person that you go to in your friend circle and you say, hey, I don't know how to fix this thing on my car. What kind of spanner would I use? He's like, imagine that person dragging you along, being like, I'm going to just screwdriver. How you can do this in 5 minutes?
Exactly.
And you follow.
And then they show you like
not showing you
6 different tools, and they're like, this is what you shouldn't be using.
This tries to get you to buy something.
For the first 5 years of my life, I struggled because all I did was use these tools. And you're like, dude, what spanner am I supposed to use?
I just told you one answer.
Yeah.
And then he tries to sell you something, and at the end he says, come back. and you can like find out more and also join my course and you
It'll be promo if you 10% off.
yes.
Yeah.
So, we wouldn't want to do that, but community building is about giving value freely and having people. I think that's the reason I asked you guys that question. How do you think people will respond? I know as a user, I would respond positively because I would immediately go and check out his other videos because I can actually see value.
Absolutely.
And, I don't know if everyone responds that way, but I believe that people with high intention or perhaps people with high or at least some disposable income think that way. They don't want to be sold to all the time. And it's the youngsters that are on some of the, on Instagram and TikTok that respond immediately and quickly, but they aren't the highest bidding customers that YouTube would want to target for.
Yeah, for sure. The people that you attract when you are authentic are the people you want to be attracted. The people that are attracted through clickbait are not going to actually bring any positive, sort of returns to your business or whatever you're trying to grow.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Well, I think we've covered that quite well. Stay tuned for our next episode. Whenever we have an interesting discussion or something that we believe our community could have value or glean some value from, we'll be putting that out there. If you have questions, if you have comments, think what we're saying is a lot of junk, let us know down below. Could be. Yeah, maybe we learned something out of this that we didn't know. But yeah, appreciate you watching and hit that like and subscribe on.
Cool. Cheers, guys.